Дорогие коллеги, приветствую вас. Меня зовут Ольга Перевезенцева. Я директор креативного центра Псифорта, практикующий психолог, специалист по фототерапии. Я здесь для того, чтобы представить и познакомить вас с уникальным специалистом Доротой Ранишевской, коучем
Hello.
из Польши, которая использует активно фотографию в своей практике как инструмент, и книга которой впервые вышла на русском языке в издательстве «Генезис» в переводе Мухаммадуллина Екатерины Александровны. Дорогая Дорота, приветствую тебя. Спасибо тебе за книгу. И расскажи, пожалуйста, о себе и что, собственно, для тебя фотография и почему она так важна для тебя.
Okay, so hello, привет, здравствуйте. I will be speaking in English. So thank you for this invitation. You asked me what is photography for me and who I am as a professional. So I'm fascinated by photography, and I have been always fascinated by photography and the way it helps us to connect to ourselves, to nature, to each other. Professionally, I am a accredited coach and mentor, EMCC master practitioner, and a Polish coaching chamber coach. I work with individual clients, with groups, and I teach workshops on how to use photography and photographs in coaching and in personal development. I also have written books and articles about it. And I'm also an artist. I have exhibitions of my art, poems, and photographs.
Мгм. Дорота, очень интересно, спасибо за представление. И очень интересно узнать, как же у тебя возникла идея написать эту книгу и почему именно о фотографиях, как инструментах твоей практики, ты решила рассказать. И когда впервые ты стала использовать фотографии в своей работе?
Mm. How it all started. It was a journey. My story with one image, many words. So Один, образ, много смыслов began in April 2008. I started a family roots project using personal photos. I connected, and these photos connected me to my family. And my family was essentially scattered around the world, and old photos were like bridges between me and other people. When I showed photos to the people who had never met me before, they easily shared stories with me. And seeing how photos catalyze communication and stimulate this psychological process, thinking, feeling, I introduced pictures to my work with my clients. And 8 years later, in April 2016, I spent a week on the desert. It was in Israel, on Negev desert. It was empty and silent. I could really hear my heart beating. I could not sleep at night because I had so many feelings and sensations and thoughts. And I was writing a lot. And when it was on the desert, when I decided to write the book,
Мгм.
I came back home to Warsaw and I started immediately. And in October, the book was published in Poland.
Мгм. Вот это да, Дорота. Удивительная история. Говорят, что в пустыне ничего не может вырасти, а тут целая книга. И вот от идеи от воплощения книги такой путь. Интересно, а как, по твоему мнению, фотографии могут помогать процессу личностного роста?
Yes. So photos can support personal development processes in various ways. I, for instance, often ask my clients if they could find photos illustrating what's most important in life or their key achievements. When they come back home from this session and look into the photo albums, they can see pictures that represent many things: their aspirations, hopes, values, relationships, achievements, as well as life struggles that or changing moments that made them strong and wise, resistant. So photos are a good starting point to talk about what is important in life.
Мгм.
I prepared an example. This photo of a man with his son,
Мгм.
for example, can be an illustration of a good relationship between the father and son, or a memory of happy moments that can increase a sense of gratitude, or a reminder of values or achievements in life in one photo. And in the middle of my book, you will find many examples, more examples in the chapter work in development, in personal development with photographs.
Мгм. Спасибо большое, Дорота, за такую яркую иллюстрацию и примеры применения фотографии. Ну, конечно, я соглашусь с тобой. Действительно важно заглядывать в свои фотоальбомы, чтобы вспомнить о своих моментах жизни, принять их с благодарностью, что это было. А что ты думаешь о фотосъемке? Является ли фотосъемка терапевтической для тебя?
Mhm. Yes, you know, as a girl, I like to spend time in nature. And I have been sensitive since I was little. And later, as an adult, I used to go outside to the forest or on the fields and take photos to calm my mind in difficult moments. And I noticed that when taking pictures, I didn't think about my problem. And photography, especially taking pictures in nature, was a remedy for stress. Moreover, it gave me a sense of satisfaction.
Мгм.
I started using photography as an emotional support and creative activity to help my clients de-stress, relax. So I invite my clients to take photos of beauty or sun or joy between coaching sessions. And later, I ask them how taking photos in nature influenced them. And usually, you know, they say that time in nature and taking photos is time for myself, and helps them to relax in life. And in the book, you will find also more in the chapter photo journal.
Мгм. Я с тобой соглашусь, и я считаю, что это тоже отличная идея вести фотодневник, фотожурнал, тем более, что у нас у каждого есть такая сейчас возможность с помощью фотокамеры на смартфоне, не только с помощью фотоаппарата, использовать для создания фотодневника. Уверена, что твои читатели новые вдохновятся твоими идеями, уделят время себе с помощью фотографий. Кстати, кто вдохновил тебя на эту книгу?
Okay, so I wanted to know more about using photos in personal development, and I started looking for books on Google. And I found the book of Judy Weiser, of course, who is a very special person for me. Judy has always been very supportive to my work. And we became professional and personal friends. That's the book that Judy Weiser wrote, and that inspired me. I also was inspired by other books, by Claire Craig. It's in English. Exploring the self through photography. Also, Beyond the Smile by Linda Berman. But also books by Susan Sontag about philosophy, anthropology, and the psychology of photography, as well as books on body-mind, And I want to show you this book, A Widening Field, Journeys in Body and Imagination by Miranda Tonfel and Chris Crickmay. That book also inspired me a lot.
Я тебя очень хорошо понимаю, тем более, что Джуди Базер — это пионер фототерапии, и в издательстве «Генезис» в 2017 году впервые в России вышла ее книга на русском языке, но на немножко в другой обложке. И я знаю, что у тебя целая глава посвящена фототерапии, и Джуди еще и рецензент книги. Спасибо большое, что поделилась книгами интересными. Интересно узнать, а что, по-твоему, особенного в использовании фотографий?
So I wrote in my book, for instance, that when I look ahead and after a moment, I close my eyes, I can still see the image. But I have my eyes closed. And I've been always intrigued by this. Even when I'm no longer looking, I can still see. And is it the proof that memory and thoughts operate on a visual level? This is very interesting. Also, communicating through photography, I will read from my book. Communicating through photography gives me the feeling that I have connected to the world and other people. It's a way of getting closer, establishing direct contact, space where you and we see the same thing. Photography is more than words, more than what's going on with you and everything fine. So that's also interesting. And also that, looking at it's also from the book, looking at the past in the present moment through my own photographs creates a unique opportunity to reconsider the experiences, feelings, events of the past from today's perspective. It's very unique.
Да, я знаю, что ты в своей книге приводишь много примеров использования фотографии. Не могла бы ты немножко поделиться с будущими твоими читателями какими-нибудь идеями, рассказать о примерах своей практики?
Examples.
Да.
In the book, you will find various examples, and examples how you can use photos in mental support, such as visualization, metaphors, photo album, photo journals, self-presentation, and more. Let me share you a few examples on the screen, okay? I prepared 5 examples. And I think you can see them already on the screen. So this is a picture from an individual session with a 60 years old woman who wanted to decide, about her professional and social activity after the retirement. So if to engage in the local animation center or to continue as a part-time teacher at school. And we used her photos to reflect on her values, what brings her joy, what brings her fulfillment. Another example, this is a picture from an individual one-to-one session with a 40-year-old woman who was in the time of giving a new direction to her professional career. And she reflected on all her life. Photo album, life photo album, life photo album. Another example, a picture from a group workshop for women when I used big format photographs that composed an exhibition to open a discussion about life choices, duties, needs. Photos as starting point to reflect, to discuss. That's a picture from an individual session with a 30-year-old woman who was in the time of looking for a new job and who reflected about what she wanted to do. Metaphors, images as metaphors. And that's a beautiful example also from a workshop when we have contemplated about strengths. What are our strengths? Photos, images as metaphors that make us thinking.
Дорота, большое спасибо тебе за идеи, за такие яркие примеры твоей практики и яркие иллюстрации, фотографии в цвете. Считаю, что это отличное дополнение к книге, и уверена, что нашим зрителям будет интересно познакомиться с твоей книгой. Тем более, что ты делишься в ней щедро своими примерами, и это особенно ценно для коллег, конечно же. Уверена, что ты вдохновишь русскоязычную аудиторию читателей, и они активно начнут использовать в своей практике такой чудесный инструмент, как фотографии. Дорогая Дорота, благодарю тебя за чудесную беседу, а нашим зрителям желаю приятного чтения, инсайтов и, конечно же, вдохновения. Большое спасибо.
Thank you. And I also wish all the readers in Russian an inspiring lecture. And thank you, Olga, for this interview. This is really honor to me.
Большое спасибо, Дорота.
Thank you.
Спасибо.